Okay, we're in the middle of the sugya of Mishkav Zacha and Behema. So we're on Nun Dalid Amid Beis, 1 to about 6 lines up. Turn Rabbanan. Zacha loy asaba cotton kigadol. Now this is regarding the Nishkav. This is regarding the one the passive one, the one who's receiving, right? So this is speaking about that. So in this case, we don't make L'inyan Zacha, L'inyan Mishkav Zacha, we do not make the cotton like a gadol. Behema, however, when it comes to the Isra Behema, then Asaba Katana Kigadayla. We won't make a distinction in the animal whether it's a Katana or a Gadayla. My Loyasa by cotton Kigadol. Amarav, Loyasa Bias Pachas mi ben Tishanim ki ben Tishanim. Pirish. If we know a bia of a 9-year-old is for a male is considered a bia, right? If you're less than 9 years old, it's not a bia. So if the male that is the nishkav, that is the act is being done to him, is less than 9 in a day, then the shoichev, the one doing the avera, will be pater. That's what Rav is saying. That we don't make the bia of a pachas ben tisha shanim ki ben tisha shanim. Ushmul amar le'yasa bias pachas mi ben shalosh shanim ki ben shalosh shanim. You don't look at the age of the male; you look at the age of the female. So therefore, this is much more stricter, right? It have the nishkav, the passive one would have to be less than 3. Good. B'may kamiflagi, what's the svaras hamachloikis between getting the age of 9, less than 9 in a day, less than 3 in a day? Rav Sava kol de isa b'shoichev, isa b'nishkav. Anyone who's in the ballpark that the action, the one that's doing the act is considered a bia, then the nishkav is considered a bia. So in Mela, we know that 9 and a day, that's when the bia is considered a bia. We'll see more of this in the Amid Beis. So 9 and a day, the bia is a bia. So the nishkav, the one who's passive, also have to be not more than 9 in a day. B'chol the lesser b'shaychev, and therefore if it's less than 9 in a day, lesser b'nishkav. That's Rav Svara. U'shmuel savar, and Shmuel says mishkavei isha. It says in the parsha of Mishkav Zacha that the lashon is ve'zacha le'sishkav mishkavei isha tayevehi. A zacha, you should not go ahead and be shoichef mishkavei isha. So we go ahead. Therefore, mishkavei isha, what's an isha's bia, right? To be considered a bia is 3. So memela, that's the machloikus between the two of them.
So under 9,
under 9, if the nishkav, the one that is receiving it, is less than 9 in a day, then the shoichev would not be chayv skila. According to Shmuel, the nishkav is less than 3 in a day. Okay. Tanya kavase de Rav. We have a brayse that's a raya to Rav. Zacha ben tisha shana v'yayim echad. Haba ala behema. A zacha that is 9 in a day, that his bia is a bia. Haba ala behema. Ben kidarka, ben shalai kidarka. Or v'ha'isha hamevia esa behema aleha. Or a woman who brings the behema onto her. Ben kidarka, ben shalai kidarka. Chayiv. Right? You'll be chayiv. Why? Because it's 9 and it's 9 in a day. In this case, what? It's 9 in a day, so it's not going after what? Not going after 3, but it's going after what? It's going after 9. You be chayiv skila, right?
the 9-year-old.
The isha. The isha may be as a behema la be chayiv skila. The 9-year-old's never chayiv.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah, right. The rise from the rise from the fact that 9 is considered a bia, right? But the no, the raya is it's speaking that not that the 9-year-old is the shaychev. The 9-year-old is the nishkav. So you read like Tanya Gavasei the Rav. Zacha ben tisha shana v'yem echad. If a man, a baroinish comes onto a child that is more than 9 in a day, in that case you will be chayiv. That's the raya to what? To Rav. That's the raya to Rav in that case. Now Darish Rav Nachman bar Rav Chisda be'isha shnei mishkavos, either kedarka or shaloi kedarka, ubehema mishkav echad. Behema would only be kedarka. In order to be the chayiv for mishkav for an animal would only be what? Would only be echad kedarka. Maskal Rav Papa adrabba. Isha de urchahi, an isha that is it's urcha. A mishkav mechayiv, a meida machrina le mechayiv, mechayiv kedarka, and you would not be chayiv shloi kedarka. Behema de lavorchi, behema which it's not normal at all. L'chayiv Allah al kol nekav and nekav. You be chayiv what? Any which way. So Rav Papa is disagreeing with Rav Nachman regarding the animal. Disagreeing regarding an animal. You, Rav Nachman Bar Chisda, want to say an animal is what? Is only kedarka. Rav Papa is saying no. Now, if you look at the Gemara literally, guys, mashma a woman you would not be chayiv shalai kedarka according to Rav Papa, but that's not true. We say mishkva isha, right? It's both. So look at Taisus, a very important Taisus. Adrabba, isha de orcha, hapshita bekula shas. It's pashit in all the shas. The beisha mischayev ashnei mishkavos. An isha yimechayev ben kedarka ben shalai kedarka. The mishkve isha ksiv. It says mishkve. Guys, what's mishkve? The lashon of Rabbim. It's two. So what's Rav Papa saying? Guys, what's Rav Papa saying? Rav Papa saying you only chayev right on kedarka. El Rav Papa hachi kama. Rav Papa is going ahead and he's answering to the words of Rav Nachman Rav Chisda. Im yesh lechalik ben isha lebehema ipra havi leila meimar. In other words, you want to say an animal is chayev only what? A woman is chayev only kedarka. You want to say that an animal is chayev what? Kedarka, right? And a woman's chayev what? Shaloi kedarka as well. Says a Papa, if your reasoning is correct, I'd say the opposite. I'd say a woman which is normal, which should be kedarka, an animal which is not normal should be kedarka. So really, what's Rav Papa saying? Rav Papa is saying, of course, you chayiv kedarka. He's answering the words of Rav Nachman Rav Chisda. You want to say that what? That an animal is only what kedarka? If anyone should be kedarka, it should be the isha. Not that, in fact, it is an animal. An isha is also chayiv mishkavei isha both. But according to your reasoning that you say an animal only kedarka, then really only a woman should be kedarka. But an animal should be, I feel shalai kedarka. So now, with Tosfos in mind, the Gemara makes little sense. Because if you stop the Gemara right here, what does the Gemara say? Tanya, we learn in a brisa. Now, let's say you're not going to say anything. Tanya, Zacha, ben Tisha Shana v'yom echad, haba ala behema, ben kedarka ben shaloi kedarka. So now, that's shver too. That's shver according to Rav Nachman Bar Chisda, because he said what? An animal is only kedarka. He's an Amoira. Guys, Tanya, we're bringing a brisa. Good? I'm showing you in the brisa, it's going to be shver according to Rav Nachman Bar Chisda, and shver according to, it's going to be shver according to Rav Papa. So, what did Rav Nachman Bar Chisda say? An animal is only kedarka. Good? What does the brisa say? That right there is your kashuan on Rav Nachman Chisda. Now, what did Rav Papa say according to the literally? He said Anisha is only kedarka, correct? So this is Shver Rav Papa, correct? Now, Amalei Ravina Rava. So how do you end? You ended off. This is not the style of a Gemara, guys. Guys, what should you? You say this. You have a brisa that says this, and you get a teretz. Guys, we've been doing this a little bit of time. We've seen a few bad Gemara, right? What's the style of the Gemara? You bring this. You bring this. I'll bring a proof to one. I'll bring tiny Gemara. You know, you're arguing. I'll bring you a proof. According to this, we didn't come to any conclusion whatsoever. We left off a shverkeit on who? On Rav Nachman Bar Chisda, because it says an animal shaloi kedarka. And we left off a shverkeit on Rav Papa because it says isha shaloi kedarka. Good? But what did Tosfos say? Of course Rav Chisda what? Admits that Anisha is ben kedarka, ben shaloi kedarka. He's just saying, according to your reasoning, if you want to say kedarka, it makes more sense on isha than an animal. So Geshmak, guys, I have the Magalis Hayom found a gersa. Guys, you see where it says Tanya Dloike Chavayu? We have Tanya, that's also shver. Tanya Kavase de Rav Papa. Tanya with Toises is Geschmack, because the Papa Taka says, Bia Shaloi Kedarka by Isha. In other words, if you're Goyris, we have a Brisa, according to Rav Chisda, with combining with Tosfos, that Rav Papa. Combining with Tosfos, according to Rav Papa, that in fact, a woman would be Chayiv Shaloi Kedarka. And he was only answering the words of Rav Nachman Yitzchak, who said, oh, an animal is only Kedarka. And he's saying, but if anything makes sense, it should be a woman. But he really means that, of course, both. Tanya Kavase, according to this, Tanya Kavase, de Rav Papa, very geschmack. And in fact, my brother brings down from an old source that it says Tanya Kavase. It's a very, very nice nuance in Gemara. Okay. And therefore, it doesn't end off with a kasha. According to this, Tanya Shaloi Kavai, end off with a shvelach. Amr Ravina L'Rava, says Ravina L'Rava, Hama'ara B'zacha Mahu. Okay, now, fellas, just going back to Yevam's days, at which point in time is a person chayiv for? At which point in time is a person chayiv for arayos? At which point in time is it considered a bia that you chayiv? At which point in time? So it says in the Torah, it says in the Torah that we make a hekesh between all the tayevos and nida. We make a hekesh between all the tayevos and nida. We have, it says over here, guys, a whole slew of things, and then it says kol es kol etaves el asu anshe yaretz shelfneim v'tidma aretz. They did everything. So we have a Rav Yona's hekesh that what everything's together. Now, if I can prove, fellas, if I can prove, therefore, that all the arroyos is chayiv for hara, I should be able to say mishkav zacha and behem is also part of the arroyos in Parshas Achrei Mos, and therefore they should be part of the hekesh of Rav Yonah. Now, at which point in time? So the Gemara, the Torah says, this is all in Yavamis, guys. It says Vayikra Perek Chaf Pasuk Yud Ches, V'isha sheyishkav es isha dava. A man goes ahead and lies with a woman who's an isha dava. She's a nida. V'gila es ervasa es mikayra he'era hasos he'era. So this is pshas hara. Now we had a machloikis. What hara is? Is it the aver just touching the area, or a little when the atara, the head of the aver, goes in, it penetrates? So that was the machlokes. So the Gemara wants to know the following. Fred the Gemara. Amalei Ravina l'Rabba. Hama'ara b'zachar. Mahu. It says Gemara, Hama'ara b'zachar, mishkvei isha ksiv bei. It says mishkvei isha. El hama'ara b'behema mahu. Now, what's the shaila predicated upon? In other words, why is this different? If you're telling me hara for every erva is what? From the hekesh. So what's the shaila? If behema and zachar are both in the parsha of Achrei Mos, and they are, and you make the hekesh, okay, so I sent out a Tosfos, guys. I sent out a Tosfos. Take a look. Look over here. Okay, so B'zacha mahu. Hadla yolav zacha ubehema mehekesha de Rabbi Yonah. Why don't we learn on zacha behema from the hekesha Rabbi Yonah? Mishum des mikoira heraksiv. It says in the parsha of Nida, her source, literally her area, hera. The hanhu and a male and an animal leishayich ba makar. There is no makar. So memela physically, there's no makar. So memela, there's a shaila what the din is. The Gemara brought in mishkevei isha, fellas. It didn't bring in the hekesh. It should have. What had? If guys, our Gemara, we should have said, what's the shaila? The shaila is the chayra. You have the same hekesh to mechayiv all aroyas, but it didn't do that. It brought in mishkevei isha. You know why it couldn't go ahead and bring in? Because physically it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. Inami mishum de zacha ubehema lechashiv bia. It's not considered a bia. They in derek bia bekach. Ulahachi v'perik arba misais tzarach ashara v'oinish l'shaychi v'nishkav. We saw the machloikas between Rabbi Yishmael and Rabbi Akiva. What was the source for the ashara for shaychi nishkav? Afgav the v'amalei boy kro l'chayv isha hanishav. You don't need a pasuk to mechayv and isha hanishkeves. Why do you need a pasuk ashara there? Because why? Because it's not a bia. Okay, so this all goes into the shaila over here. What exactly is the? So it says the Gemara, well, there's no shaila. Mishkavei Isha. So whatever by Isha you chayiv, you're going to be chayiv by Isha. You're going to be chayiv by what? You're going to be chayiv by Zachar. Says Gemara, you're right. The shaila isn't from Zachar. Where's the shaila from? Behema. Mahu. Amalei im ena inyan lahara the ksiv be gabe aches aviv aches imay in Vayikra Chaf Perik Yotes. Vayikra Chaf Perik Yotes. Was steht? Pasuk Yotes. It says ve'ervas aches imcha, your aunt, your maternal aunt. Va'aches avicha, your paternal aunt. Lo segala. It says hara by your aunt. Now this whole pasuk is extra for drasha because we brought this pasuk earlier, and we brought the pasuk earlier in Vayikra Yudches, fellas. In Vayikra Yudches, pasuk Yud Beis and Yud Gimel, it says Ervas achos avicha le'segala shera avichahi, Ervas achos imcha le'segala ki shera imchahi. So this whole pasuk is extra. Memela. In the pasuk by aunt, that it's extra, it says the lashon of hera. Now, I don't need that hera. I have the hekesh of Rabbi Yomi to go ahead. Again, they're in the parsha of Yudches. They're in the parsha of Yudches. I have the hekesh of Rabbi Yomi. They're all together. I know by nida it says hera. So why was it necessary to say hera by aunt? If I know by nida hera is for all the parsha of arayos, why would I need it by aunt? And the answer is it's extra. Since it's extra, what am I going to do with it? I'm going to use it for behema. That's the limud. Says the Gemara. Amalei imena inil hara the chsiva gabi achas aviv achas imay the leit tzricha the iskish lahara the nida. You have the hekesh Rabbi Yomi. To know inil hara the behema michti behema mechayve mises best. Okay, so guys, so therefore, so in other words, behema. Good. Now, if a guy's with his aunt, what's the chiyuv? Very good, karis. If a guy's with the behema, what he chayiv? Skila. Good. Tried the Gemara. If you wanted to tell me a din, of by behema, how could you use a source of misa, of skila? Of karis. If ant is karis, how could you use it? What? You should go ahead and bring an extra pasuk by Mrs. Bezdin. Says the Gemara. Nichti behema mechayve Mrs. Bezdin skila he. Lamali the kasav la rod di da gabe chayve krisus. Why would they write the hara that you chayiv regarding chayve krisus such as the ant? Lichtve gabe chayve Mrs. Bezdin. Veligmar chayve Mrs. Bezdin. Mechayve Mrs. Bezdin. So the kasher is you're telling me the source, fellas, for behema is ant. Why you bring it by skila? Don't bring it by karis. On that, the Gemara answers hoyel v'kula kroli drasha hudasi. Right? Since that whole pasuk is totally extraneous, I told you, you have it says it's vayikra yudches pasuk yibez yigimel. So Sivi Nami Milsa drasha. So therefore, since the whole thing is extra, it's extra for a drasha as well. One drasha memel b'tashne. Okay, so that's how you know behema is hara. Boy mine ravachmi bari mersheshes. Hama'ara ba'atzma. A person touches his ava to his backside. Mahu. Amalei kapstetan. So he said to him, Rav Sheshes said to Rav Achmi Radimi, you kapstetan, you're annoying me. Rav Ashi, mighty boylach. What's your kasha? Because the ava is hard, you can't find it. It's not erect. Laman, the one who says that by a royas, if the ava is not erect, it's pater. Hacha pater. So like the mando, what you be chayiv. So what's your shaila? What's your shaila on that? On that, the Gemara answers. Over here, you be chayiv too, according to Rabbi Shmuel. Mechayiv hashoichev, you mechayiv for being the aggressor. Mechayiv hanishkav, you mechayiv for being what? The passive. This is the shita Rabbi Shmuel that you chayiv two separate psukim. But like Rabbi Kiva, that mishkav and like tishkav and tishachev, it'll only be one. Boy minerv sheshes. Okay, so now let's go back to our Mishnah. Before we do this Gemara, let's go back to the Mishnah on Nun Dal and Amid Aleph. So Abala Zachal Behema Visha Meviasa Behema Beskila. Now the animal dies. The animal gets skila. Im adam chata, behema chata. If the man did an avera, what did the animal do? So we'll give two reasons. And guys, very important to halk up. El lefi sheba la'adam takola al yada. Since a takola happened through this animal, right? An avera happened through this animal. Lefiga chomer akosef tisakel. Therefore, lifnei evil esite michshol. The animal gets skila. Davar acher shaloi tehei behema averis b'shuk. And this animal should be walking in the street. V'yomru zuhi sheniskal ploini al yada. This is the one that Ploini, who got skila, got as a result of this animal. Now, that's not a takola, that's koloin. That's embarrassment. That's embarrassment. So the question is, we have two statements over here. Do you need both takola and koloin? Or would be takola enough to kill the animal? Again, we're not speaking about the person. We're speaking about the animal. Would takola enough, or you need what? Takola and koloin. Good. Let's see the Gemara. Now, with that in mind, let's see the Gemara. Let's see what we got. Boy minei Rav Sheshes. The line before it gets wide. Boy minei Rav Sheshes. Oivit kechavim habo ala behema mahu. What's the din? Not by guys. Now, be in mind, we're going to see tomorrow. There's Zayim mitzvahs b'nei Noach. There's Zayim mitzvahs b'nei Noach. And a guy is mechuy, and an animal is one of the arroyas, is gili arroyas. They don't have a very comprehensive list, as we'll see, but one of them is an animal, and so therefore, if a guy is with an animal, he's chayiv misa. He's chayiv misa. So now, if he comes on an animal, mahu takola v'kolan b'ina, to kill the animal, you need two things. You need takola, that an avera which you do have, koloin. Rashi says kolon leka because perhaps it was not uncommon for a guy to be involved in this, or because we don't care about his kolon. Aidilma takola afapish ain't kolon. The fact that this was a takola for the guy would be enough to kill the animal. It's a very, very interesting animal. Again, what's the din of the animal? And we think it's not such a crazy din because we said the animal you need a bezet of 23. You need what? 23. So it's a capital punishment case. So you're going to kill the animal. Do you need what? Do you need both or you need one? What takala?
No embarrassment for the guy because it's a common thing. Why would you kill the animal?
Right? That because maybe takala. Is the guy chuy misa? That's the guy does it all the time. Is it chuy misa? That's takala. So that's the side of the shaila. You should kill the animal because you don't need both. You just need takala. The tzad not to kill the animals because there's no koloin. The tzad to kill is you don't need koloin. It's enough to have takala. And takala you do have because you're killing the guy. Amar of Sheshes, Tinisua, you learned the answer to this. And he brings the brisa. Ma ilonos. Now we're speaking about an asherah, guys. We're speaking about an asherah tree. An asherah is what? Is a tree that is served as avodah zarah. Tree that served as avodah zarah. And the following. Ilonos shein oichlin. They obviously don't eat. Vein shleisin, they don't drink. Vein marichin, and they don't smell. Amatoira hashkes saruf v'kale. It says you should go ahead utterly destroy them, burn them, disperse them. There shouldn't be any recognition of this anymore. Hoylu ba'adam l'takala al yadam. Since what? A takala. Now, guys, there's no kala in here. There's only takala, right? There's only takala. A person goes ahead and puts his fan and pushes him towards what? Good. So we have a raya that what? Takala enough is the reason. Just like you destroy the tree, you destroy the animal. Just how you did takala. As long as you have takala, that's enough of a reason to go ahead and destroy the animal. As long as you have takala.
Because the tree itself is an avodah zarah, so you have to get rid of the avodah zarah.
What?
You destroy the tree because the tree itself is an avodah zarah.
But again,
You can't make an avodah zarah.
What?
You can make a Jewish thing. The tree.
Well, again, this had to be from Moshe Rabbeinu because something that's attached to the ground you can't make an avodah zarah. This is Mibei Moshe from Moshe. Okay, so now says the Gemara. Elamiyata, Ovid kechavim hamishtach ve'lebheimasai. If a guy goes ahead and no, Elamiyata means guys. It's not easy Gemara. Elameata, that takala is the cheshbon, only takala. Elameata, that takala is going to kill the animal, and therefore, titzar umiktala. You should go ahead, what? It should be usher, and you kill the animal. Yeah? And 1 second, and we know you don't. Umi ikimidi the Yisrael le usher uloy v'kechavim usher. Guys, if a Jew goes ahead and bows down to his animal, is it usher to eat? Usher by not? I don't expect you to know the answer. We saw in Masechta in the beginning of Vayikra, a nevad is usher to bring as a carbon. Usher to bring as a carbon, but for you to eat it, not a problem. But 1 second, nevad, you served it as an avodah zarah, correct? So, in other words, when the Torah told you it's usher as a carbon, it means when it's not a carbon, it's mutter. When it's not a carbon, it's mutter. So you can't tell me that a guy who dies for avodah zarah, if a Jew does it, the animal's mutter. If a guy does it, it's going to be asa. And why should it be asa? Because it was a takala, right? It was turned into avodah zarah, just like a tree. So just like as a tree is a takala, you destroy it. Memela, if a guy does ahead and serves his animal instead of avodah zarah, you should have to destroy the animal. But you don't. How do you know you don't? Because by a Jew you don't. How do you know by a Jew you don't? Because a Jew, we have a special issa by karbanis, which doesn't exist. What? By chulin. Says so. Fred the Gemara Yisrael gufo litzar midi dehave aravia. So let's taka. Why is it mutter to keep around an animal that you served as a avodah zarah if it's takala? Maybe it's no different than what? Then an animal that you use for his nus. Fella, an animal that was used for his nus, you kill, so maybe you should kill this one also. If takala is enough. Good? Amar Abaya, no. Zeh kalone meruba. An animal that was used for this nus, the embarrassment is great. Zeh avodah zarah kalone muet. It's not so much. Avodah zarah is not, the colon is not so great. So therefore we can explain why you destroy the animal by his nus, but you don't destroy it what? By avodah zarah. Fred the Gemara, Vari Elon, I stay in kalone meruba. Allah, this is not so. That's kol meruba. V'amar Torah hashkei sarah fekale. Says one balichayim arinan the chas rachman alayu. You know what? Balichayim, the Torah has rachmanis. You need a bezdin of 23 to kill the animal. By the trees, there's no big, no big. And that's the difference. So memela, right now we wanted to say takala is enough. We said if takala is enough, then avodah zarah you should be, and you don't. And you don't. So l'chayr is not a good raya. We just digress for a second to ask a kasha. L'chayr you should. The Gemara says no. The Gemara says you have no raya because why? Because there's a eye from tree. Tree is kolin muta. By animal it's kolin what? It's by avodah zarah. It's by animals kolin meruba. That's why you destroy it. And by avodah zarah not. I whether a tree it's not so kolin meruba. A tree is a tree since its color is it's not a balchai. We don't care so much. We'll destroy it. Rava another teretz. Okay, Rava gives another teretz. Why you don't learn? Why you don't learn from avodah zarah from Revia, guys? Again, what's the shaila? We forget the takala question. The question is why don't we learn out avodah zarah from znus? Just like znus, you kill the animal. Avodah zarah, you should also kill the animal. Good. That's the kasha. So Rava Amar Torah. Behema nenis me'avera. The behema had enough from the avera of znus. Tihari gets killed, and Mashen came out by avodah zarah. Fed the Gemara by Ilana stay nena me'avera. V'amru Torah hashkei sarah fekale. And the Gemara is saying teretz about the chaim karminan the chasach manolayu. So the bottom line is we have not answered the question, guys. We've not answered the question. Okay, going back to the Mishnah again. The latter, we saw two pshatim as to why the animal should die. One was that it brought an avera, this guy to an avera. The second one was because they shouldn't say that this is the animal that this guy was nichshel with. Good? Now, when you say the animal that this guy was nichshel with, you're saying two things. A, that he was over on, he died because of being with an animal, skila, he had a takala, and B, it's embarrassing. So when the second case is discussing takala and kalain, it must be the first case is just discussing takala. And it can't be the same case. Yet we see you do die. So the Gemara wants to bring a raya from the Mishnah that takala alone would kill the guy, even though there's no kolon, the guy would die as a result of being with the animal. Where's the raya from? The first case, that it's takala. Good. Says the Gemara. Okay, Tashma. Says the Gemara. Davar acher, a second shot in the Mishnah. Like the behemo iveris b'shuk, an animal should be walking in the street. And they should say, Zui sheniskal ploini al yada. This is the one, the animal that Pliny died as a result. My love, mid the sefer takala v'kalain. When the sefer is speaking about takala v'kalain, it's speaking about both. There was a takala, it brought it to an avera. The kalain, the shame of people saying it. Reisha takala b'lay kalain. The Reisha is speaking about, it must be takala v'lay kalain. Now, what's the case of a guy? So what's the mitzias of a case of takala without embarrassment? The guy was takala, it's going to kill him, right? But the kalain is, and yet what are we saying? The animal dies. So l'chayr, we should bring a very nice raya that takala alone will do the job. Okay, l'chayr bring a raya that takala alone does the job. Says so it must be reisha takala b'lay kalain v'hechi dami. How do you have with takala b'lay kalain? Says the Gemara, it's speaking about a that comes onto an animal. Says more light. Safe is speaking takala v'kalain. It's taka like you said, both. Reisha hakamashmalan. Da'afilan kalain b'loy takala nami. Even if there's embarrassment without takala. In other words, there's no avera to kill you, but there would be embarrassment. Why would that be? Right? Da'afilan kalain b'loy takala nami mechayva v'hechi dami. Yisrael haba behema b'shaygeg. A Jew is with an animal b'shaygeg. He didn't know it was asa. The boy Rav Hamnuna. Yisrael haba behema b'shaygeg. Mahu takala v'kolan b'inan v'hachan kolan nika takala leka. Idil man kolan afa pishain takala. I'll say we're going to ask the shadow in a second. Oh, guys, let's go back. Guys, outside. We have a shaila. Guys, we have a shaila. Do you need for the guy to die? Is it for the animal? The guy is dead. Forget about the guy. The animal with the guy, if there's only the guys and there's no color and there's no embarrassment, do you kill the animal? That's the shaila. We wanted to bring a raya from the tree, not successful. We want to bring a raya from the Mishnah now that the animal dies. Because the Mishnah brought two cases. It brought a case, it said, what's the reason? Takala, it brought a takala al yadai. And the second, davar acher, they're going to say, this is the animal that killed the guy. And it's embarrassing. So when the Sefer was speaking about takala v'kalain, it must be the Reisha speaking only about takala. What's the case? How do you have a case of takala without kalain? A guy. That's a guy. So l'char we can be placed the shaila of sheshes. We can be placed the shaila that takala is enough to kill the animal. Says the Gemara, no, it's not. It's not speaking about takala b'lei kalain. It's speaking about kalain b'lei takala. How do you have a case of kalain b'lei takala? A Jew who thought you could do this. Is there a takala? Is he dying? No, he's a shageg. Is there kalain? You bet. And so therefore you can't be poished Rav Shesh's kasha, because maybe the Reisha is not speaking about takala without kalain, maybe it's speaking kalain without takala. Now the problem is, fellas, look at that, look at the lashon of the Mishnah. Guys, look at the lashon of the Mishnah. Here's the problem. The lashon of the Mishnah. You want to tell me it's a case of kolam b'lei takala? The Mishnah says takala openly. Guys, how could you entertain? How could you entertain, fellas, that it means what? It means kolam without takala when the words of the Mishnah says takala. So Rashi answers the kasha. Look at Rashi, fellas. The fourth line down. Umay takala at the end. Umay takala diktani. And what do you mean takala? Shebos la'odam takala al yedei takalas kolon kamar. You know what takala is? The takala is not that he's going to die. The takala is that he's embarrassed. That this animal embarrassed him. That's the kol al takala. Bottom line is you can't be punished with the shaila, right? So now the Gemara is going to revert and say Rav Hamnuna's shaila, not a shaila about a goy going ahead and being with an animal, but a Yisrael being b'shoyig with an animal. Would you kill the animal since there's no takala? There's only kolam. Would you kill the animal? Okay, so now let's see right. Now let's take it down from 4 lines from the top. Ve'echi dami Yisrael habal behema b'shaygeg. So therefore you have kala and you have embarrassment, but you don't have takala because the guy's not going to die. The boy Rav Hamnuna, Yisrael haba ala behema b'shaygeg. Yisrael, that's what an animal b'shaygeg mahu. Takala v'kolan be'inan v'hacha kala nikud takala leka. Idil makala and afaf b'shein takala will kill the animal. Rabbi Yosef tashmalas replaced the shaila. Bas shalosh shana v'yom echad. A girl who is 3 years old and a day. Miskadeshes bebia. She can. Why? She's. Remember, we said, guys, less than 3 of basulim are going to come back. So this is a good bia. Is a good bia. V'mba leha yavam kana. Yim is only throughout bia, nothing else, right? V'mba leha yavam kana. V'chayav maleha mishum eshes ish. And she's married, and it'll kill a guy. Umetama es boilo letami mishkav tachtan kelyoin. And if she's a nida and someone's with her, it's like you boil nida to meet mitama mishkav tachtan kelyoin to be a rishon the tumah, not an avatuma, be a rishon. Okay, nisas lekayin. Yeah. Boil. People think it's only a zav, mishkav zav the self, mishkav nida the self, but the boil of the nida is one less. But it's still a rishon. The bottom thing is still a rishon. That's the finish, right? Now, nisas lekayin, oicheles betruma. That's the halacha. A woman who is married to a kohen eats truma. If one of psulim is with her, poslam and akuna. She's a zayna. She can't go ahead and marry a kohen. Now we don't need any of this. Why do we need it for? And if any of the aroyas are ba'al b'tayra, mumasim al yada, they get killed. V'hi petura. Good. This is what we need. Echem mikol aroyas v'afilu behema v'hahacha the kolanika. Takala leka v'katani mumsal yada. Guys, outside. This girl is less than is three in a day. 3 in a day. An animal's mizanim with her. Is there any takala? Is she dying? She's a katana. She's a katana. She's not dying. Is there kala and is there embarrassment? Yeah. What's the din? Does it say that the horse dies? I want to say. I don't know why I say horse. Does the animal die? Yeah. So l'chayr we could push the shaila. Kala without takala will kill you. Shmak. Shmakaraya. Right? Shmakaraya. Says the Gemara. No. Over here, kivin de mezidahi. Since she did it on purpose. She did it on purpose. She just gets off the hook. Takala nami yika. It's a takala. V'rachmanan hu dechas allaha. Allah didochas abehem alechas. So, guys, little lumdis. Allah. It's a great lumdis. In other words, when you say a katana is pata, when you say a cotton is pata, what's pshat? The pshat is that their action's not an action, or they're off the hook. Their actions and actions off the, but they're off the hook. In other words, but there's a certain law in the United States. Less than 16, you're a minor. Well, I'm making this up. Let's say a minor shoots somebody and kills somebody. Is he? What? No, I'm saying, but his action was an action that should kill him. Why doesn't it kill him? He's not of age. So the same thing, a technicality. It's the same thing over here. The MS, the act of this nus with the animal was an act. Ellie, you know why she doesn't die? Why she's pata? She's a katana. So who does the Torah have Rachmanis on? Her, the animal. Lazim gain, right? Literally. So memela, you have no raya. It's in other words, it's not pshat. There's only kolain. There's takala also. There's takala also. It's geshmaka svara. Takala also. Memela, that's why you're going to get killed. It's takala. You're going to get killed. Very geshmak. Tashma. To be poishit Rav Hamnuna Shaila about what? About kolain without takala. The same Gemara. But you know what? It's the same Gemara, but now not the female, the male. Now the male. Bentisha shana v'yamechad, abal yevimtoi, kana, he's kainaha. He'll be, if she dies, he'll be Irisha. Veina nice and get at shiyagdel. He can't give a get till he becomes a man. You know. But why is he kainaha? Because his bia is a bia. Umitama kinida, and he will be tamei, like his bia is a bia, then with a nida, the tamei mishkav tachnan kelyon. He's on 10 mattresses, the bottom mattress will be tamei. Poisel, if he is if he has the ability to passel, he can passel a woman. Let's say he's a psul and he's with a bas kayin. He can passel meaning truma. I don't need a bas kayin. this woman won't be able to eat, right? She won't be able to eat truma. The Eina Michael, and he can't feed. If he's a kohen, and he is with a woman l'shem kedushin, he's too young to go ahead and give a truma because you need to be what? It's not a total kinyan. The afagav to be yasabiyah and kinyan of like Korean to make a kinyan kasbay. In other words, to be a bas kohen to eat, you have to be kinyan kasbay. It's not kinyan kasbay. So it's not a full kinyan. His bia is a bia. Upoisel as a behema me'al gabi mizbeach. His bia would passel an animal. It will be a nirva. It'll be a nirva. V'niskeles, and the animal will get killed. Al yadai, through him. V'bo alachas mechol rois hamus b'tayra. Mumsim al yadai. So you have the case of the niskeles, the animal is dying. I v'acha kolin ikka, you have the embarrassment. Takolo leka, because he's not dying, the boy. You have the same teretz. Ukatani niskeles al yadai. Says, Kivin the mazidhu, takola nami ikka. Since he's a mazid, takola there also is. Rachmana do the chasal lave, and the Rachmana has as Rachmana on him. The day chas Rachmana, abehema le chas Rachmana. Good. Tashma. Davrachav and our Mishnah. Shleitei behema iveres b'shuk v'yomru zui sheniskal ploni al yada. My love mid the sefer the kola v'kolain reisha kolain b'lei takala. The Reisha was speaking about a Jew who did it b'shoigeg. Vehechi dami Yisrael abal behema b'shoigeg. Why? Sefer the kola v'kolain, as we said. Reisha can be speaking about like Rav Sheshes Shaila. Takana b'lei kolain vehechi dami. In other words, if you want to go ahead and be placed this way, I can go ahead and use the other way of thinking. If you want to be placed like Rav Nun saying it's speaking about a Jew, no, and this kolain, but it's not takala, I could say it's speaking about a guy with this takala of like kolin. You want to say it's speaking about the shaila about Rav Sheshes Shaila, does the animal die is a guy? I could say it's speaking about a Jew, so you have no way of being placed the shaila. Very good, smart. Okay, tomorrow morning again, Bez